Good afternoon, Uncommon. I am TJ, and today we're talking about decorations. Now, I missed last week because of Thanksgiving, so I have been jonesing to get back to some live session with you guys. So I wanted to give people some chances to tune in today. I know people have reached out to me a couple of ways throughout the week, missing last week. So I wanted to jump in here at 3 o'clock, see if I can catch people throughout the day. Each week, in case you don't know, each week we do a Facebook Live, and it usually rotates through the topics of husbands, dads, and leaders. I think we're going to start to not only add those topics, but add to that just some miscellaneous topics that, I don't know, inspire us or come to light whenever there's a need. So this one is one of those topics. And so if you've seen some of our social media around this, you've seen it. It's decorations, the hiding of the bad spot. So we'll jump into that into a minute. But I hope everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I took the week off, and I made it a goal to have a nap almost every day of that week off. It was fantastic. Everybody needs life goals. Mine would be to nap on vacation days. It should be a rule. But our session we didn't go through last week. We have it this week, and so we're talking about a few things, and one of those things I want to give you an update on our memberships. So we have a goal of our memberships for the end of the year, and we are 20 away from that goal. It is fantastic to see. We started off the membership program in March of this year, and it has been growing like crazy. And we are excited to be adding a lot of functionality and new features to it almost on a quarterly basis. So I just put a link here in the comment below to our membership section. We just had someone ask about it about 2 minutes ago before I came on session. And so in case you're looking for information around that, that link will give you everything you need to know about our membership. We also are doing our year-end fundraising. It's the only time of the year we do a big push for fundraising. Everything else throughout the year is just a normal thing like memberships or just our content in general. So if you would be praying about your involvement in our fundraiser, instead of going on just Giving Tuesday, heck, we'd appreciate you giving to us any day of the week. So that is a link to our fundraising page. You can see what our goals are and where that money is going to be going in 2020 and beyond. So without sounding like Buzz Lightyear there, sorry about that. So I have a question for you guys, and you can leave it in the comments now or later. I know many of you watch this later on. When do you put up your Christmas tree? Now, this year, my wife and I, we put that thing up, goodness, I think it was November 11th. I don't know why, but we just felt the push to get it up there and get it done with so that it would be there for Thanksgiving. And because that has been up there, we've gotten our shopping pretty much done and gifts wrapped. We are ahead of the curve. Probably our first time in our lives, and it feels a little bit strange. But when do you put your tree up? When I told my best friend Rob that I put my tree up the other day, he almost passed out because it wasn't even Thanksgiving yet. And if you follow some of our social, you see Lou Everling. I think Lou never takes his Christmas stuff down, actually. Lou keeps us updated with his exterior illumination activity. There's your Christmas vacation reference, Lou. And so he is active with that. So the question is, when do you put your tree up? Put that answer down below. Now, this week we're talking about the Christmas season. And I know it could be not a good time, not a bad time for everyone. It's got mixed feelings of maybe there's loss, maybe there's distance, broken relationships, and then again, there's maybe a really good time of the year you enjoy. But I sent out a text to a group of men that I reach out to on a frequent basis, and I asked in one word. I do this to them like once a week now. They must love it. In one word, what is your least favorite part of the Christmas season? And I got a couple of responses back. Busyness, clutter, materialism, greed, stress, spending, and commercialism. Now, that probably hits most of us right where we live in some capacity. We get really busy around the holidays, and whether it be parties, good things or bad things, needed things or made up things, we get busy. We go through our decorations, we go through our Christmas stuff, cards and such, and there's clutter, there's stress, there's definitely spending. And if you simply just exited the Black Friday or the Cyber Monday, month-long Cyber Monday sale, there is some greed and some spending going on there too. So I would encourage you to take a moment and refocus your Christmas to something that you can look back on in January and had a good experience with it, and not just because you got a new toy or a new car or whatever it is, but think back to, man, I really enjoyed that adjustment I made because that is helped me keep the focus on Christ in the season. So our topic is called Decorations, the Hiding of a Bad Spot. So I don't know about you, so I didn't grow up doing this, but when my wife and I got married, we started off with going to the Christmas tree lot. And before that, we would get them from the Christmas tree seller, like, a little pop-up stand or hardware store would sell them, and they're already wrapped up, so you can't really see how they look. And so we did that for a long time. We went to a Christmas tree farm, and I remember the very first time we had gone there, I was totally getting my Griswold on and looking at every tree, trying to find that perfect one, running through the lanes and aisles, trying to look at, because you're out there in a big old farm space. And so you try to find that right tree, right? And from a kid's point of view, you're like, hey, I want a big tree that's going to fit a lot of presents under it. And then from the parent's point of view, I want a tree that's actually going to fit in my home, right? So two different perspectives there. And so, we're kind of looking at some trees, trying to estimate size if it's not indicated on there. You pick out one, and then you get it home. And then all of a sudden you kind of put it in the stand, and then you step back a little bit and you take a look at it, and you're like, this tree's leaning. What's up with this tree? And you try to go over there and you try to adjust the screws and kind of straighten it up a little bit, and you step back and you're like, well, what's this big hole over here? It's got a big bald spot. And so you turn the tree, and then, well, this is kind of light over here too. I didn't really notice that. And so all of a sudden you're trying to put the bad spot in the corner, right? You're trying to turn it so where it looks the best from where you're looking at it. And so you may not have known that by when you purchased it, and you're like, how did I not see that? And so you start putting lights on the tree and ornaments and garland, and if you were old school like me, tinsel. In case some of you young whippersnappers may have not heard of tinsel used like this, you sell them in these cardboard boxes for like, I don't know, 49 cents or whatever. And it was just kind of almost aluminum strands. And you would take a handful out and you'd throw it on the tree. And that was your tinsel. crazy. But you put all these decorations on it to try to hide those areas that didn't quite look the best on the tree. And, we do that in our lives too. We do that, we all have those spots, those bad spots, those holes, those bare spots in our lives. And, we all have corners we put them in, right? And so, and then we may not have noticed those issues when they were on the tree farm or in the place that sold them, because they were among other trees with some of the same issues going on. And so when we gather with other believers, we're kind of like that bunch of trees together. You take one of us out and you start looking too closely, you're going to see some of the cracks. You're going to see some of the blemishes and things that maybe not quite so perfect. And then you get them all together, and pretty soon we're all kind of flawed together. We're all broken, and we all are sinners needing the Savior. And so we got some common ground. And this season got me thinking about decorations. Make sure that you're not just decorating yourself, pointing your bad spot to a corner. Know that you have people out there that are just like you, and they find fellowship and community at a church that provides prayer, fellowship, and support. So that was a kind of inspiration I got from a sermon a couple of weeks ago around the holidays. And so, this time of year, we're always trying to put on our best face when it comes to getting dressed up for a Christmas service. If you want to make a change in this Christmas season, I would recommend you spending some time fellowshipping with others and getting to refocus your heart on the meaning of Christmas, which is Christ, Jesus. And so I think that adjustment in all of our lives would make all that list that we looked at before completely go away. And so Hebrews 10:25, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. Hebrews 10:25. And so I have 10 things here for you that could make you maybe stay a little more focused on Christ in the Christmas season. It's strange that we talk about trying to keep the focus on Christ in the Christmas season. I guess if it was called Christmas instead of Christmas, the pronunciation, maybe people would connect the dots a little bit. When I hear people like, what do you mean, Christ? Christmas is about Christ. It's almost like one of those videos that someone goes to a college campus and asks, could you spot Johnny Cash if he was in a picture, or who is this? And I don't know who that is. It seems kind of basic that you'd be able to connect the dots of Christmas and Christ. So number one, stay focused on the gospel. Number two, share your faith with others. You don't have to go door to door. Just be open to, hey, what are you guys doing for Christmas this year? Well, my family and I always go to church. We kind of focus on reading the Christmas story that night. Just weaving in your faith into your verbiage could go a long way. It might open some doors to share your faith with others. Number three, reading the Christmas story on Christmas Eve. And here it is for you, Luke 2:1-20. So there's your Christmas Eve tradition. If you do nothing else, Christmas Eve, before everybody goes to bed and stops shaking boxes under the tree, read the Christmas story out of Luke 2:1-20. Number four, invite someone in need over for dinner. You may have someone in your life that you see at work, you see at school, college, at church, neighborhood, whatever. If you see that they're going through something, or maybe you just want some time for fellowship, invite them over for dinner. It doesn't have to be anything formal. Order pizza, sit down, talk, whatever, play cards. enjoy some fellowshipping this season with other people. You may find you got more in common than the news tells us. Number 5, be Jesus to someone by just listening to their situation. You know, sometimes people just want to hear. Men, this is for all of us. You know, women sometimes come to us and they're talking about something and we just like snap on the I can fix that kind of persona. And so sometimes they just want us to listen, in which we should, because we don't have the answer to everything. And so listening to someone might just be the best thing you could do in display a Christ-like attitude. I know quite a few people that talk more than they listen. Holy cow. So let's see, number 6, bring Christmas cookies to your neighbors. It's easy. I understand that people probably look at you weird these days. If you're bringing food to their house, they're like, that's going in the trash. They're trying to poison me. More than likely, they're not trying to poison you. But if you know someone, you wave at each other throughout the year, you got a little bit of friendliness going, bring some Christmas cookies over to them. They may not eat them. They may, whichever. Maybe it's that the thought that may count there. Open up some doors of communication. Number 7, celebrate Christmas with an Advent wreath. Dana and I are actually doing our first Advent study together. We started a couple of weeks back. It is because of Bethlehem. And so we've been doing that, and it's been really, really good. We've done a lot of different studies over the years together, and this is the first one around Advent, specifically around Advent. So that's a great thing. And there's tons of content online, so you don't have to buy a book. You can go to YouVersion, and they have tons of Advent studies on there to take. I'm sure some really great ones. Number 8, attend and invite someone to a Christmas worship service at your church. You see someone in your neighborhood or at church, or I'm sorry, at work or at school. Maybe they're not doing anything for the holidays. Maybe they don't have any family here. They can't afford to travel home. Ask them to join you for a worship service. Many times people will go, I think they're referred to as CEOs, Christmas and Easter only. And that just means that they only go to church services on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or Easter, right? So this is a great way to get people to church to hear the gospel, because many times churches understand that some people only come to church twice a year, and so they deliver the gospel message very well and tell the story of the Christmas story out of Luke. So invite someone to your Christmas worship service. Set up a nativity scene. We've tried over the years to decorate and this and that. Tends to get a little cold for this Cajun outside to spend a whole lot of time decorating outside. I prefer to decorate inside where I can see it. So, but setting up a nativity scene, that might be a great thing to do outside. I know we have at least 2 or 3 in our home already of decorations. And then the last one, we've done this for a few years. We baked a birthday cake for Jesus. One time someone came over to our house. We invited them over for dinner. They asked whose birthday it was. Natural question. They may have thought that someone else's birthday was on Christmas Day. And we said, oh, we did a birthday cake for Jesus. And they looked at us like we had a third eye coming out of our forehead. They just could not understand what in the world that meant. So if nothing else on this list piques your curiosity, confuse people by baking a cake for Jesus. You might get a laugh out of it. So I hope that information might change your perspective on decorations, right? Everybody's got a bad spot. Everybody's got issues. Don't hide them in the corner. Go fellowship with people who have the same kind of problems and issues that you have, that I have, we all have, that are overcome by the saving knowledge of Christ. So if you've been blessed by anything we've done this year, if our content, our membership section or whatever, preferably consider partnering us with our fundraiser. We could use that for next year's development. We got some big plans happening for next year. And you can go to our website and sign up for our newsletter at uncommon.org. follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And the way you can help with that is if you were to like, comment, and share our posts. So when you share our posts, that gets our update into your sphere of influence. And if someone was to do that on and on until you got yourself a Kevin Bacon situation, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right? So share our content, like it, comment on it. You might want to just give us a feedback. You guys are horrible. You guys are great. Whatever you want to do. We'd love to have a communication or a conversation with you guys via social media. So that's why it's there. It's meant to be social. I know you thought it was there to fight about politics and to share those stupid cat memes, but it's not. It's actually meant to be social. Right? Crazy. Who thought? So I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. I missed talking to you last week. If you ever need anything, please reach out to tj@uncommon.org or visit us online. You can fill out the contact form, ask a question. We also have a prayer request, a link on our site. If you're going through something, especially around the holidays, and you need someone to pray for you, you need some support, a ball guy with a couple of ears to listen to you talk about your situation, please fill out that form, and that goes straight to not only myself, but all of our board of directors who pray over that as well. So hope you guys are having a fantastic day, a fantastic week, and since you're going to be something, why don't you be uncommon?